This guy's rich, and I'll tell you why. He had to actually pay somebody to be his best man, but yet he still got a woman to say yes to his proposal. Nigga got money. What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad Woolly, and you are here again for another edition of Woolly Reviews. Film Data. We got a movie review today. We're going to be talking about a movie that just dropped today. Comedy movie that's getting a lot of attention. You know we got to holler at it, see if it's their real deal funny and whatnot. That's what we got to do. We're going to be talking about The Wedding Ringer. Now, The Wedding Ringer is a movie starring Kevin Hart, who has been in every goddamn thing lately. He's been on fire for the past few years. One of the top level comedians in stand-up as well as in film and even in TV. He's just been doing his thing and he just keep going and churning out all this top great work. And Josh Gad, who is most notably known for being in the movie Frozen that every damn child is fucking infatuated with to this day still. I don't fucking know why, but they are. So these two got together and started in this movie where Josh Gad's character named Doug Harris is actually 10 days away from getting married, and he is yet to find a best man or even groomsman to be. He has no wedding party whatsoever, and he's freaking out. And the point is, he doesn't have any friends. He's tried calling everybody he thought was his friend who he could get, and they all said no, because apparently this dude's a fucking loser with no friends. So he had to figure out something, and he was put on by a wedding planner about this guy who would actually play to be your best man. You pay him and he will pretend to be your best man. And that's where Kevin Hart's character come in. His name is actually Jimmy Callahan, but in the movie his name is Bick Mitchum, which is actually made up by Josh Gad's character when his wife asked him, or his soon-to-be wife asked him, what's the name of his best man or the guy who's going to be coming in, and he kind of freaked out and made a name, Bick Mitchum, which is actually the name of razors and a certain brand of deodorant. He just, you know, wasn't thinking. He's one of them guys in this movie that doesn't fucking think. He just kind of does stuff on instinct, and it kind of ends up fucking him over. And that's kind of like how this movie goes. So from there, they meet, they come up with the plan, and they have to actually know and learn a lot of shit about each other. And at first, it seems like it's supposed to be a business relationship between Doug and Bick or Jimmy. And as the movie goes along, it starts to build this little bit of a bond, which both of them really didn't expect to happen. In between all that, you see a whole bunch of craziness happen, a lot of, you know, funny situations that they both ended up getting into with the family of Doug, with the friends that actually end up being the friends or the co-workers of Jimmy, who end up actually becoming part of the wedding party for Jimmy. He ends up having to do something called a golden tux, where he has to get 7 groomsmen and a best man in 10 days, and they're trying to pull this off. And in between all that, they actually end up all growing this crazy bond that none of them thought would happen. Now, is the movie funny? For the most part, yes, the movie is generally funny all the way through. There are some jokes that sort of don't hit the mark, but for the most part, most of them do. And the surprising thing about it is a lot of the supporting cast that aren't Josh Gad and Kevin Hart, they have some pretty strong jokes here too that I found a lot more funnier than some of the material that Gad and Hart were putting out. But Josh Gad and Kevin Hart also put out some strong material. They have great chemistry with each other. And like I said, most of the jokes and most of the way that the movie plays out is a very funny movie. I would say for the most part though, like it's like a good funny, not a over the top side splitting funny, but it's enjoyable funny. Like you get your laughs, you get your, you know, you get your chuckles in. Not everything hit for me, like I said, but I say everybody's got their own level of sense of humor. But for the most part, I did enjoy the movie watching it. And the only real drawback to the movie is the fact that it is hit and miss as far as the comedy is concerned, and it does kind of slow down around the middle. Not too much, but it does kind of, you know, dip from that momentum of comedy that it starts in the very beginning and how it ends off in the end. That's the only thing. But a good thing about the movie that I do like is there was a nice subplot between Doug and Jimmy's character, where in reality they're both looking for the same thing, whether they want to admit it or not. Because Doug is looking for a best man, but also a friend, and Jimmy is someone who is playing a best man, but he also feels like he, you know, is doing this to be a friend to somebody. Well, that's how he kind of started out, but then it started off for the money. But linking up with this Doug character, he kind of reinforces this is why he does it. And all that, even though this is supposed to be a business relationship, they end up actually becoming real, actual friends, whether either of them wants to admit it or not, which is a really strong subplot that lifts up the story and carries it on to the end, where it's actually a very strong ending, sort of like a twist ending, sort of like for a comedy movie, sort of like a twist ending that you did kind of see coming, but you do, you know, like the fact of how it ended and how things turned out. You kind of end up rooting for Josh Gad's character through the whole process. Even Kevin Hart's character, you kind of just, you know, get real connected to both of these characters. And for the most part, the movie is funny. It's great. I would say it's a one watcher for me. I wouldn't go back and watch it again. Not saying it was bad. I'm just saying I got everything that I needed out of the movie from that first watch. I don't see like a classic comedy vibe out of this one. They do have great chemistry, but for the most part, it's a good showing. Really, really good acting on the part of Kevin Hart and Josh Gad. Like I said, the chemistry was great. Comedy was, for the most part, great. I give it, you know, a 75 to 80% rate of comedy. You know, 20% could have, you know, done without, but nothing terrible really to say about the movie. Just pretty damn good. So my final verdict, I'm not saying that The Wedding Ringer is an all-around solid comedy movie. The jokes are pretty good. Josh Gad and Kevin Hart have a really good chemistry with each other. And for the most part, the story is pretty strong. All I'm saying is that for what you go see, for the one watch you see, you will laugh, you will enjoy it, you will appreciate the subplot, and these two characters actually do what they're supposed to do. They bring the funny, but they also bring a really good story, and it shows you that Kevin Hart and Josh Gad can bring other levels to their ability rather than just being funny. They can actually, you know, equate a great story and, you know, bring a good movie together. And plus the supporting cast that they have here is actually really good. They actually build up the movies as well, and it's a good one showing. So all I gotta say is that for me personally, it is a one watcher, so I have to say that The Wedding Ringer is 100% Granddad recommended. Well worth the try for one time to go see it. I would say worth the $11.50. Maybe as a popcorn and a drink, but at least the movie ticket in general. But hey, do what you want to do. But hey, The Wedding Ringer is a pretty good movie. So if you're looking to go see a new comedy movie and get some really good laughs, you like Kevin Hart, you like Josh Gad, check this joint out. It's pretty funny, alright? Nothing more to say. Flip it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. Tell me what you think of The Wedding Ringer if you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, like I said, it's out in theaters today. Go and check it out. Make it a movie night. Let me know the feedback. Previous videos on the side as well as my single. Go and check those out. Show them some love. And as always, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram. Links in the description below. And subscribe. Button on the screen. Button below. Woolly Reviews. Twice a week. You know the spiel. You know the deal. So until next time, I take my leave. Granddaughter. The Wedding Ringer. I'm out of here.